South Dakota Mines improved to 5-4 overall and 4-3 in the RMAC this weekend as it defeated Adams State 63-9 on Saturday in Alamosa, Colorado. Hello, I'm Alex Dodd, and welcome to the South Dakota Mines Football Show presented by the Rapid City Journal, where for 15 to 20 minutes each week, we'll take you inside the program with Hard Rockers head coach Charlie-flohr. Coach, how's it going this week?
I'm good, Alex. How about yourself?
Doing good. Another great weekend for you guys. Just how impressed were you with the way that your team dominated really from start to finish down there in Alamosa?
Yeah, I was very proud of our kids and how they came down or went down and played. We had a great week of preparation, knowing, it was going to be a tough trip. Left Thursday and, got down to the Denver area Friday, practiced at a local high school there in town, and then made our way all the way to Alamosa Friday night. And Saturday, our kids from the start, our pregame meal was outstanding, and in our meetings and chapel, and our kids, you could just tell the look in the eye that they were focused on the task at hand. And so I kind of had a feeling through pregame warmups that our kids were going to be, mentally and physically locked in and ready to go. And we knew that was going to be one of our keys to victory. Is we had to be able to start fast, and we did it in all three phases. The special teams, we started off with a touchback. The defense got a stop, and then offensively, we went down and scored to make it a 7-0 football game, which, from our perspective, was the way we needed to do things.
One aspect that probably a lot of fans don't really know about these long road trips that you guys have to take is the fact that you do have to practice at area high schools in Colorado a lot. What's that kind of like for you guys, and how does that maybe help the coaching staff with building relationships with high school coaches and ADs, and maybe even serve you a little bit in recruiting as well?
Yeah, most definitely. When we're on the road, if we don't practice on site at the university of who we're playing, we'll try and, maybe find a high school where we have one of our players to, again, take them back and let them see where, they're from. And if not, we went to a local high school that was right next to our hotel. So, we've established a great relationship there at those high schools. And no doubt, anytime we can get our brand out down in that Colorado area, from our standpoint, knowing there's 2 engineering schools within our conference, and there is another mines within the conference. So, we're about 5 hours up the road. But we've got a good brand, and we want to make sure we get it out there. And it's good for our kids to kind of see some other parts of the country as well.
What's kind of the feeling like in your locker room right now? You've won 2 in a row. It seems like you're really getting in a groove here at the end of the season and kind of peaking at the right time.
I think our attitude and our mood has been really good. The last couple of weeks, our kids have really focused on us as a football team. We had 2 really tough games against Western Colorado and Colorado Mines, and we felt we were right there with the 2 top teams in the conference. And then for us to go down and or beat Fort Lewis here, and then go down to Adams and beat them the way we needed to, it's given our kids a lot of confidence in regards to what we can do and what our potential is. But we all know what potential means, and now we have an opportunity this week to face a very good csu-pueblo-football team and see where the last 2 weeks has really taken us as a program.
Again, Ben Noland had another record-setting week. He only caught 4 passes for 86 yards, but he got 3 touchdowns on those, and that put him in the record books again. His third score gave him 14 receiving touchdowns this season, a new Hard Rockers single-season program record. How special has this kid been this year? And it seems like he might not leave any records untouched by the time he leaves, and he's only been here for 1 season.
Yeah, Ben's done a great job. He's accepted his role. He knows what his role is in regards to kind of being that go-to guy, and he's not the type of kid that's going to shy away from it. Sometimes kids in those situations, they may not want the football and in some tough times or critical downs. So. But he accepts it. He wants the ball. Him and Jaden, our quarterback, spend a lot of time together talking about things throughout the course of the game, with little adjustments we need to make within the passing game side of things. And we've been able to utilize him in a lot of different ways, with running the ball and then throwing the ball and then obviously catching the ball. So he's been a great addition to our program. But the one thing you'll hear from me every time about him, yeah, he's making a lot of great plays on the field, but he's a phenomenal kid. He's married. He spends a lot of time with the football team, which sometimes you don't always get, with those young men that, have other things going on. But he's a football junkie, and we're just really excited to have him part of our program.
You mentioned Jaden. He got in a groove early again, and it seems like, after a difficult start to the year, he's really started to get in a groove and settle in, which is a mark of a mature player. 15 to 21, 229, 4 touchdowns and no picks. What did you see from Jaden, and how important was his play early in the game to get you guys off to that good start?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, just getting him out with a little bit of confidence. We obviously set the game plan and what we want to do offensively, but a lot of what we're doing, we check with him and our quarterbacks. I still coach the quarterback, so after practice or during position meetings, I always ask them, hey, when you guys are watching film tonight, if there's things you don't like or you don't feel comfortable with, we need to know as an offensive staff. And those kids have done a really good job of, hey, coach, we don't like this. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, great. How can we make it make sense? And we make adjustments. And, I think a lot of that is, the relationship that our quarterbacks have with Coach Jen, our offensive coordinator, and things that we talk about as just a quarterback group. And we want those guys to feel as comfortable with our offense just as much as we do. And if you don't have that, then you are going to struggle. So we give those guys a little bit of freedom to, make a few adjustments. And if we feel they're going to be beneficial, we'll go with them. And, I think that's a mark of, like you mentioned before, good maturity within our quarterback room. And, you've been able to see that, as the season's progressed.
You guys were able to rush for 264 yards and scored 5 rushing touchdowns. What did you see from the offensive line on Saturday? And also, how good was it to see different guys get involved in the running game? It wasn't like one guy had 175 and the rest made up the difference. It was really a group effort from your backs and your quarterbacks on Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously everything starts up front with the offensive line, and we've been very lucky up front. We're going through week 9. And we've really been able to have the same offensive line through the course of all season. And, from a continuity standpoint, that's been beneficial for us. Those guys have continued to take ownership within the run game, knowing last year we didn't maybe hold up to the standard we needed to. And this year, like I mentioned, they've taken the ownership and knowing in order for us to be successful, not only as an offense, but as a team, we've got to be able to rush the football. So, they've continued to do a great job. And then, yeah, last week it was great. We were able to put, 4 running backs in that football game. And, all of them were big-time contributors. You had Jalen, and then you had Ty Harris, and then Dawson Dunbar came in and ran the ball extremely hard, had, some big runs. And, and then Holden Gilbert, who a kid that's probably played a little bit more special teams during the course of the year for us. But, I mean, the way that kid ran on Saturday, and, just reminded us of the kid that we recruited last summer. So, for us to be able to have 4 running backs that we feel can go into a game and, be key contributors for us, I think just gives us maybe that little extra dimension that maybe not a lot of other schools have, is because if, things aren't going well, we can maybe go to another guy and get the same results.
How have you kind of seen that running back room develop over the course of the year? And like you mentioned, some younger guys that are contributing with solid numbers at this point in the year.
I think their continuity overall, it doesn't matter who's in the backfield or who's running the football. We do a lot of different things where we're getting 1, if not 2 running backs in the course of the game. And they've bought into what we're doing. It doesn't matter who's running the ball as long as we're successful doing it. That's all they care about. I think we're utilizing their skills maybe a little bit more. We have some guys that can catch the ball. We have some guys that can run routes. And again, that just makes us a little bit more dangerous as an offense. Coach Sales has done a really good job of keeping those guys together, getting everything that they need, putting them in a position to be successful. So, it's been fun just to watch that room continue to grow and develop with the last couple of years.
Defensively, you guys limited Adams to 217 yards, intercepted a couple passes. What did you see from your defense in the game?
I thought our defense did a great job of just flying around and having fun. We really challenged them last week. We need to create more turnovers as a defense. And, I challenged our guys, and, I'm starting to get up in age, and I, don't like to do, some things, but, I challenged our guys, hey, you get a turnover, I'm going to be the first one off the sideline to give you a big chest bump. And, I was able to get 4 of them this past week with the 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions. But, it just creates more energy within our sideline. Our defensive guys, like I mentioned, they did a great job of adjusting to the different things that Adams was able to do or wanting to do. And we made some good critical adjustments. We had a few things we needed to clean up, but, they just continue to impress me with how hard that they play, being very opportunistic, not worrying about different things, just going out and playing. And, from my standpoint, that's been a blast to see their progression through the course of the year.
Where are you guys at kind of from a health standpoint at this point in the year? I know at this portion of the season, everybody's a little banged up, but where are you guys at from a health standpoint going?
Honestly, we're doing pretty well. We had a few injuries during the course of the year that were season-ending injuries, but we've had some, key players step up and make some plays in their absence. But, for us to be in week 10 and for, our offensive side to have a lot of the same guys from week 1 to, week 10 that are still playing is huge and says a lot about our athletic training staff and our strength staff and making sure our kids stay healthy. And, defensively, we've lost a few kids up front. But, we've had some younger kids that have been able to step up and make some big plays. So, from a health standpoint, I'm very happy with where we're at being into week 10. And like you said, a lot of that just goes to the adjustments that we make during the course of the year in practice. Maybe not do as much tackling and, much banging during the course of the week and more just mental reps and getting our guys to run around a little bit. They spend a lot of time in the training room getting themselves ready to go. And then our strength staff, again, is just, what do we need to do to help maintain and keep guys on the field, which I think is huge for us.
This weekend, Colorado State Pueblo comes to town for a noon kickoff at O'Hara Stadium. How good is it going to be back at home one last time this year and actually have a pretty nice weather weekend in Rapid City for November?
Yeah, no doubt. First and foremost, the weather, right now is scheduled to be really nice on Saturday. And for us, it's crazy as it sounds. It's our last home game of the season, how fast the season has flown by. We're going to celebrate 8 seniors that have done a phenomenal job of kind of leaving their legacy within our program. That's one thing that we've talked about all season long is, what's your legacy going to be like? And I know our 8 seniors are trying to do everything they can to leave South Dakota Mines better than they found it. So, it's going to be an emotional day from that standpoint, kind of sending off our 8 seniors their last time playing in O'Hara Stadium. So I'm excited for them. I know our crowd's going to be there. Hard Rocker Nation is going to be out in full force to make sure that they send out, these 8 seniors in the right way. And, we got a very quality opponent in CSU-Pueblo coming into town. They're playing extremely well right now. And, I think our kids are excited just to see, again, where we're at from a program standpoint, getting ready to play a very good team.
What have these seniors meant to you, just helping you get started and build a foundation for this program, and also to Rapid City and South Dakota Mines generally over the last few years?
Yeah, I guess for me personally, they mean a lot. I tell our full team, I have 110 sons within our own football team as well as my own 3. I try and treat our players just like they are, part of my family. And, these 8 seniors, I can't say enough about them. Some of them have been here for a year. Some of them have been here for 2 years. Some of them have been here 6 years because of the COVID years. So, I'm just very appreciative in how they've accepted me, how they've accepted our new staff and in the change that we felt we brought into our program and in them kind of, weathering the storm with some of that transition. And, it's been good for me to see, and I think good for them to see that, there's been a lot of positivity within our program and we're moving in the right direction. And those 8 seniors were a big part of that.
Looking at Colorado State Pueblo, what have you seen from the Thunderwolves on film as you guys have kind of broke things down this week?
Yeah, they present a large amount of challenges, offensively, defensively, and special teams wise. They're extremely athletic. They're very well coached. They got a new head coach down there with Coach Vigil. I've known Phil for a long period of time. He was actually a graduate assistant for me down at Northwest. I think he was there in 06 and 07. So, Phil and I have maintained a really good professional relationship. And, happy for him for that to get that job. And, he's done a really good job of maintaining the success. They're doing some different things that are going to cause us some problems in all three phases. So, that's really been a big thing for us is we've got to get locked into the details, in all three phases. Like I said, they're extremely athletic. They do a lot of great things in all three phases. And, we know we have to, be prepared for some different things that they're going to come out and cause us some problems, stay locked into our fundamentals, and, just do the things that we've been able to do the last couple of weeks that have given us the same success.
What's it going to take to maintain that momentum and grab a home win for your seniors?
I think the biggest thing is, like I mentioned, we gotta worry about us. We can't worry about the team across the sideline. We've got to stay focused on what's got us to this point. We have to take care of the football. We have to, delete some explosive plays, and we have to create some offensively. They tackle well, extremely well in space. So we've got to make them miss defensively, and we have to tackle well in space. They're running the ball extremely well right now. The running backs and receivers are, extremely elusive, and we have to make sure we're, not missing tackles. And then go out and have fun. That's going to be huge for us. Like you mentioned before, it's going to be a great day for college football here in Rapid City. Enjoy the environment, embrace the moment that we're in, and play extremely hard for 60 minutes.
Well, Coach, we always appreciate the time that you take out of your week to sit on here with me. And South Dakota Mines fans continue to follow along with the Rapid City Journal for the most complete coverage of Hard Rocker athletics. Coach, have a great week, and we'll see you this weekend.
Sounds great. Thanks for your time, Alex.
No problem.